Wow. Hi guys. If you're here, I'm here. Trying to figure out how to see this on, let's see, on my screen. Let's see if I can figure it out. Can I figure it out? I've done it before. How do I find myself? How do I find myself? I don't know. Oops, let's see. Let's see if I can find myself. Hey, there we are. I can see me now. Oops, let's see. Let's see if I can find myself. Hey, there we are. I can see me now. Okay, I'm there. All right, now I can see my chat too. You guys, I'm at a different little space here. I hope this works well. Let me see if I've got everything where I need it to be. So we are making an advent calendar today. I'm very, very excited to share it with you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I see that some of you are here. If you're here, drop a little message down there. Let me know you can see me okay. We're gonna be making a advent calendar today. This is using Rosie's Studios beautiful Christmas collections. I'll be using some mix and match of different ones. You can find them all on their website at rosiesstudio.com. That beautiful, beautiful papers. And the ephemera I've used is from there. Oh, I'm kind of wait and see if anybody comes on and joins us. So this is the book that we're going to be making today. We're going to be making, of course, this one's finished. We're not making this one today, but we're making another one today. And let me show you what it looks like now. I did something crazy on this one I didn't notice until this morning. But this is the book and what it looks like. And these are little boxes. Each one opens up individually so that you can put your little treasures in there and open one up each day in December, including the spine box, which is a little bit bigger, as you can see, for that magical Christmas day to open up a fun one there. So, hi, welcome guys. Good to see you. So you'll see that you can actually open this one up with a trim. You don't have to use the ribbon, but this one opens up this way for a much larger surprise on Christmas Day. Most advent calendars don't carry a 25th, but I thought it would be fun. I had a little space in the middle to put an extra box there for the 25th. So it's a little special something there. So we're gonna be making this together. If you saw my post yesterday, my video yesterday, I gave y'all an assignment to make some boxes, to make the 24 of these boxes so that you would be ready for today's tutorial. If not, that's okay. You can come back and do that part later on. So we can make the rest of the box today and you can go back to that video next time and make those boxes. I'm gonna show you how to do it here too, but you can add those later. So I have actually got my pieces cut out. You guys, this is hard for me to plan, but I did. I planned it, I cut it, I've got my pieces. I'm so excited to bring this to you. It's a big project, and so I wanted to have a lot of it done beforehand because otherwise we wouldn't have time to get this all done together in one day. So, or in one live, because I don't think anybody sits still that long except me, because, you know, once I focus onto something, I just have a hard time putting it down. So to start off, we're gonna take 2 pieces of 12 by 12 paper, okay? And we are going to attach these. And I'm just gonna use a tape this morning. So hopefully you've got some supplies together, or you know what, if you're just watching today and you wanna put this together another time, cool, just save the video. You know, it's a lot to do, but hopefully if you've got some supplies ready to go, or you've got some, you know, want to quick grab something, I'll try to go at a slow enough pace that you can have time to grab some materials if you need them. So welcome. If you guys are here, make sure to put a little hello in that chat box so that I know that you're here. We're going to just tape these together, these two pieces, and that's going to give us a starting point. Okay, that's going to be our cover, the base of our cover, not the actual cover, but the base of our cover. And this is, you want to use some strong cardstock so that it holds up to wear and tear. This is not a project you want to use once and get rid of. You will put enough time and effort into this, you will want it to last for at least a few years, hopefully, huh? All right, so let's go ahead. We got that going. So this is going to be our base cover, okay? Or our cover base, I mean, whatever. This is going to be the outside of the book, and then we're going to decorate the outside also. So that's what I'm saying. Next, you are going to want to cut. Now, I am lucky enough, I still have some chipboard left over from my old job. They made these signs, and I was able to take them home and cut them up. You can use cereal boxes. You can use cardstock. You can heavy cardstock and probably layer that. You want something thick enough that it's going to be strong enough. Remember, these boxes are going to have goodies in them that might weigh a little bit. So you want to make sure that you've got some pretty strong chipboard that you can use. And you need 2 pieces of 10 by 11 chipboard and then 1 piece of 3 by 11. Okay, 3 by 11 is our spine. That's going to be this piece right here. And we're going to go ahead and put some tape on there. I'm going to be using a lot of tape today to try to save some time and some fussing. We'll be using glue as well. Forgive my kitty, you guys, if you hear her. If you are new to my channel, she is a very talkative cat. Very talkative cat, and she is just fine. Even though she sounds like she's in distress, she absolutely is not. She just likes to talk a lot. And she's telling me right now, actually she's been telling me all morning. I've already fed her. They've eaten. The cats have eaten. They've eaten their food. She gets dry food and wet food, and they have been telling me all morning they still want more food, and I'm not going to give them more food because you know what? They've had enough. All right, now one thing I did forget was my pokey tool in the other room. But let's see if I have, oh, I can use a pin. I have a pin here. This will work too. Don't have a magical pokey tool set? Just use a pin. There we go. I am so excited to make this with you guys today. My sister has been telling me, I want to learn how to do that. And she's been telling me for like 2 years, I think. And I've never done a tutorial about it because I thought, you know, it's just so much work. And it would just be hard to sit down in one sitting. So to do it, and I just haven't done it. But I figured out that we could do it this way, and I could have a lot of this stuff set up ahead of time, and I think we can get it done, at least a good portion of it. So I hope you guys enjoy it too. I've really enjoyed making them. And I did adapt this. This was inspired by May May. Most of you probably know May May. But mine is going to be a little different. My measurements are a little bit different. My process is the same, but my measurements are going to be different. So she doesn't have the box on the spine, and hers is not quite as wide because I allowed for a bigger spine to put that box in. So my boxes are also taller, so I have more room. So my measurements are going to be different, but the whole thing is inspired by May May. So I want to make sure I give credit. Now, with my 12 by 12s taped together, we won't have a lot of room. I don't know if you guys can see this. We won't have a lot of room on the edge to wrap over. So you want to be really careful to get this as close to the middle as you can. And I probably should have measured a little better. Now these 2 pieces, the 10 by 11s, the 10 goes up at the top, the 10-inch, and then it's 11 inches, right? Because it's got to match that spine length. So you want to make sure, which I should have done before I laid that spine down, but I'm okay. You want to make sure that you've got at least enough room to wrap over your chipboard on the end here without coming in too far here. A good rule of thumb is that this should be at the distance. If you hold this in between the two pieces, they should be that far apart from each other. The thickness of another piece. So they should be about that close. So we'll have that much to wrap over. You can see that's not very much. So make sure you check that out really carefully. Okay, let's put my note over there. I don't need that anymore. I guess I didn't have to flip it either. We're gonna go ahead and tape this down too. I'm gonna use, like I said, I'm gonna use a combination of tape and glue. It just helps to hold things together a bit. And that glue also helps to strengthen the papers. There we go. This book turns out very beautifully. I could have, I guess, taped these too, but you know, gotta save something to work on with y'all. So today is World Card Making Day. I hope that you guys also have a chance to make some cards. Didn't really think about that when I said I was going to do this live, but that's okay. We could have done some cards, but that's all right. And I know Tim Holtz is on right now, so I would expect a lot of you are probably over there watching Tim. I've been watching him all morning too. So, and I know that y'all have family things and stuff to do too, which is awesome. I'm glad you're out doing those things. This will be posted later on for replay, so don't worry if you missed it, or if you can't stay till the end. That's okay. I get it. I just want to make sure that I've got this information out to you and that you enjoy it. So once again, thank you for being here. If you are here watching, put a little note in the chat. Love talking to you guys. And love to know who was able to make it so I can say, hey. So this is going to be our Advent calendar. If you're just coming in, you may know that by the title. We're making an Advent calendar today that is going to be so fun. It's a great gift for Christmas. I was even thinking of different holiday uses. Maybe we could use these other times a year too, like maybe the 14 days before Valentine's Day would be kind of fun to make an Advent calendar for that. So I may be doing that as well. I know for swaps and stuff that would be a fun swap to give a crafty friend. What you think? Let's put this in between there just to get that thickness. We're gonna line this up top and bottom so that it's straight, as straight as we can get it. And then remember to leave enough space on the end there when you push it all down. Hi, Alexa. How are you today? Or Alex, I'm sorry. I said Alexa. So glad you're joining. So glad you're here. Ooh, I almost lost my pen. There we go. So let me know if you guys would be interested in making an Advent calendar, maybe type of deal for maybe the 14 days before Valentine's Day. Maybe we do the same thing those first couple weeks would be kind of fun. Or even the 12 days of Christmas. I think it would be fun to do an Advent calendar for that too. And just have 12 days of Christmas. There was a title. I just saw you were on live. Oh yeah, there's not a title yet, is there? Yeah, it didn't ask me to make one. I don't know why. But I kind of thought there would be. But I think, well, for the playback, there will definitely be a title posted. You didn't miss anything. I'm doing an Advent calendar. An Advent calendar. Let me show you really quick again. For those of you who are just coming on. Oops, this is going to go to the top. The 10 goes to the top. We're going to leave that same space there in between, so it's going to be easy to fold, making sure we've got lined up top and bottom. Plenty of edge room to fold over. Your wheelchair, oh honey. You got to the Oceanarium? That's pretty cool. I would love to do that. This is the advent calendar we're making today. Isn't that fun? It's a nice thick book. And then I didn't decorate the back side. Now I have to tell you, you guys, everybody messes up from time to time. And this is what I noticed I did this morning. When you're looking at it, the top, I did it all upside down. What? So I'm gonna have to actually redo the outside of it. That's gonna be the easiest way to do it. So this is the inside. Everybody makes mistakes. I made a big one on this one, but it's not gonna go to waste. I'll get the front and the back covered up and fixed up so that it's directionally correct. But I love how it turned out. And these little boxes just flip open. This one in the middle has a ribbon around it. And then you can do that little box. You can put something fun in there for the 25th. And I am so excited about this little project. I wanted to share it with you guys. So that is it. That's what we're doing today. Obviously, I'm working on a new one. Actually, I've got two new ones because once I get to a certain point on this one, we're gonna flip to the one that's almost finished. So, and then I'll show you the rest of it on that one. Something just fell off of that. Okay, that's fine. All right, so once we get to this part, we've got all this laid out. We get to put the cover on. So some of you have seen, you know, I've done the book covers before. We're just gonna miter these corners here. All right, Alex, what was your favorite part of the Oceanarium? Thank you. I'm so glad you like the journal, or not the journal. It's not a journal. It's a advent calendar. And these are using Rosie's Studio paper, Christmas papers. The solid papers are not. They're just stuff I had in my stash. But the decorative papers are from Rosie's. And then we're just gonna kind of fold this. We're gonna train this paper up over the edges here. And I like to put tape down on these because it holds it quicker and I can move on. We're gonna have a lot of paper glued over this, so the tape will do just fine to hold this flap down. Once it's trained there, we'll pull this tape up with a pin because I cut my fingernails off. Is my lighting okay? You know, I'm in a different spot. I'm sitting in my living room for once today instead of my craft room because this project is so big. There's just no way I can do this on my desk. No way. Even if I cleaned it, I couldn't do it. It's just, I don't have that much space. So I am on a folding table in my living room. This is where I do my evening crafting when I'm watching videos sometimes. So we're just gonna make sure this is nice and tight over the edge there. It'll hold just fine. We're gonna use I can use the burnishing, my tool here to burnish down here in the corners to make sure that that's nice and trained. And also definitely do the same here to help train those fibers that they're gonna bend and fold where we need them to when the time comes. Barry the iguana, he was a rescue and so awesome. Oh my gosh, that sounds fun. I've never actually been around an iguana in person and I would love to. I've been tempted to bring them into the store, but they get so big and I just don't think that people in our community, this paper is not, I don't know if it's stained or if there was something on the table, but it's got little stains on it. I just don't think that we would be able to find a home for it before it got to be ginormous. So I won't do it. And I want to so badly. I'd love to have a store pet iguana, but we don't have room to keep one there at work either. So I don't. It'd be so fun. Now bearded dragons on the other hand. I've got how many do I have right now at the store? I have 7. I have 7 already at the store right now, and I have 2 more coming, 2 more different ones coming, which is kind of cool. I have 3 different types kind of excited about that. I can't wait to see the new ones. They're a cool morph that's real different than the ones we have normally. You guys know how I love my bearded dragons. They're scary in the wild when you're doing things, huh? Well, yeah, you know, I can imagine that would be a little frightening. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. I wonder if they're scary in general in the wild or just in those circumstances. What would he say to that? That's funny stuff. I don't think I'd want to see any animal eye to eye when I'm in the wild having to do my business out there. And all of a sudden I look up and there's an animal looking me in the eye. I don't think I'd be real comfortable with that. I don't think so. I think I'd feel very vulnerable at that moment. Here we go. I think I'd feel very vulnerable. Heck, I don't even like when my dog follows me to the restroom. She can look at me from the other room, but I don't like her in there. I have a thing about that, I guess. Okay, so we've got that side down. See, it just big enough to flip over the edge there. So you want to be really careful to make sure your measurements are correct. If for some reason you get to a point where you cannot fit that, where you can't get over the edge, you can actually add another piece of paper to the front to make that extended. So if I needed to, and it wasn't gonna fit, maybe I misplaced it. Gosh, there's just, I don't like that. I don't know why that paper's like that. I could take another piece of paper and just attach it here and then flip it over if I needed to. But then, because your cover paper is gonna cover most of this, that seam will be barely visible on the outside. So you just have to kind of work with that. If you need to patch a piece on, you can do that. You can do that. Just work with it the best you can. But we will be putting some cover pieces on the front, so it won't be that visible. All right, hopefully you can still see. Can you guys see that side? Yeah, you can see that side. I could even scoot over a little bit and then you could see the other side a little better. I didn't realize I was still working off camera. There we go. All right, welcome if you're just joining us. Good to see you here. I see we've got a few more people come in. We are making an advent calendar today and having some fun, just chit-chatting. I hope that you'll stick around and join us, and you know, if you'll have some time to craft with us, that's awesome. I'm so glad that you've come in and stopped by. Make sure to say hello because I would love to know who's here. All right, so there we go. We've got this covered. And we've trained this a little bit. Let's finish training this paper because it's gonna make our folding much easier later. So we'll train that paper up to bend it nicely. There we go. This is sticking down pretty good. And there we go with our cover. So you're gonna have the seam in the back, but we're gonna cover that up. So that's not an issue, okay? And then, like I said, if you had to patch this over, you'd have a seam here too. But our next step is to take papers for our front and back and our spine. Actually, let's do our spine since it's in my hand. You're gonna need one piece to decorate your spine. Now, here's the thing though. Oh, I didn't cut that. If you want to put the bow on it, like I did on that one, on this one, this is when you wanna do that. You wanna put this down underneath your decorative pieces, okay? You wanna glue that down just in the center. I'm not gonna do that on this one. So, but that's when you'd want to put that on there. And it's a great way to hold this shut. So if it's going to be traveling or anything, it's going to hold those boxes shut. But I'm not going to do it. So we're going to, but I do need to trim this. So this needs to be not 11 by 2 3/4. It needs to be 10 3/4. And let me change that note because I'm putting all of this 10 3/4 by 2 3/4 is your spine. Okay, 10 3/4. Oh, yeah, that is what I wanted to do. I just forgot to trim that end. Hi, good to have you here. Good to have you here. All right, so 10 3/4 by 2 3/4 is your spine. That's gonna be your decorative cover for the spine. That's gonna go right on here. And for this one, I think I'm gonna use glue. So we'll just add some on. Do-do-do. I was so excited to do this today. I actually accidentally woke up. Well, I woke up really, really early this morning. I'm like, oh my gosh, I should get some more sleep. And then I thought, no, I'm gonna get up and get ready. And so I did. And I've just been having fun, just putzing around the house. I've got a candle burning, had the doors open, got my chores done, cut all this stuff up, finished my boxes up so we could put them all together. There we go. So we've got the spine cover there. Now you can decorate this any way you want. I'm just going to put the one cover on because I just want to make sure you guys have the measurements and stuff. And I want to make sure I do this right side up. Now you're going to need 2 more cut pieces, 9.5 by 10.5 for your front and back cover. This is your decorative cover. And I have decided to use this one for the front and this one for the back. So they can match. They don't have to match. Whatever you want, however you want to decorate it, that's cool. So you do you on that one too. We'll use tape, make it go a little faster, a little easier. But remember, when you use tape, you don't have much room for moving, so make sure you get it stuck down just right. And you can mat this paper, or you could do it, you could attach it straight down. It's totally up to you how you want to decorate these things. I'm using up some of this extra tape, I think, is what's happening here. And then we'll just go there. We'll go here. Like I said, this is just a quick way to do it. I don't know about quick, but you know what I mean. Quicker way to stick it down. Come on. You guys have other projects you're working on today? Are you crafting? Are you guys crafting today? Anybody? I hope to do some more crafting. I've got to do some more videos for you guys. I've got a challenge that I talked about briefly. I don't remember which video, within the last couple of days, and I'm going to be doing a 2,500 subscriber challenge in which I'm going to ask everybody to send me a card for Cards for Kindness. And my goal is to hit 500 cards this year. We did 380 last year. 380? No, it was 280 last year. I'd like to hit 500 this year. I cannot peel that up for nothing. Let's smush this one down a little better. Maybe I can get it. So I'm hoping to get that information out to you guys today in a video. So stay tuned for that. There will be a PayPal prize. I need to figure out the details yet. So just be ready, make some cards. Make some cards. I know I'm making some cards. I've got a bunch of cards. I just need to make envelopes for them yet so that I can get them ready. So many of those cards last year were mine from throughout the year too. It was so fun. And it was so nice to feel like I was helping somebody, you know. So we're just gonna put this on here, eyeballing the best we can, and commit and presto, and burnish. All right. And then for the back, I'm gonna use this one, and then we're gonna go to the inside. The inside is the little bit more, not complicated, but a little more detailed part, of course. No crafting today. Oh, I'm hoping you're having some better days, Alex. I hope so. You're in my thoughts and prayers lots. But I'm glad you were able to get out today too. That's awesome. We need that for our minds, don't we? Even And when we're not physically feeling well, sometimes our brains still need that. It's part of taking care of ourselves. All right, there we go. There we are, and let's keep going. We have an aquarium. I don't know that we have one here in Alabama, but I know there's one in Georgia, Atlanta, that's supposed to be amazing. I've driven past it, but I didn't have a chance to stop at the time. And I've heard it's really good. I want to go so much. One of these days, I think I'm just going to get my car or my truck and go. I think I'm just going to do it. I don't need to have a reason, right? I can just go. It's about 2.5 hours from here. I think it would be a fun thing to do. In fact, I just made the decision in my head just now that I'm gonna do that. I'm always seem to be waiting for someone to go with, but why? Just go. I would really enjoy it, and I could spend as much time there as I wanted. I could stop when I wanted to. All right, so there's my front and my back. Luckily, I used non-directional paper on this because that way, if I do mess up again, I don't have to worry about it. We're back to the middle, to the inside, okay? We've got pieces here. Now, I'm gonna use the spine. For the spine, I like to use a piece of paper. I like to do the spine here first because then my other pieces can go over it and this isn't gonna go into there. So for the spine, I cut a piece 10 3/4 by 8. So 10 3/4, because this is 11 tall, by 8 across. We're gonna set this pretty much in the middle because it needs to cover up this part and it needs to overlap the sides, okay? So we don't need to measure where, we just need to make sure it's pretty much centered. Does that make sense? All right, we're just gonna, no, I'm not gonna just glue this one down. I do want tape on this one too. And I'm actually almost out of tape. I don't know that I'm gonna be able to continue using tape. We will probably be using glue for the rest of this. And that's okay. We'll just make sure we've got enough for this spine here because I want it to seal down really well there so it doesn't pucker is the idea. So I like to use that there. Okay, and then we'll use some glue. Let's pull this paper up. And let's see here. Sometimes you got to burnish it down to get that paper to move. Would help a lot, wouldn't it? It might just be easier with my finger now. What little one I have. There. All right. Hey, girl. Hi, Trina. So good to see you. I was wondering if you'd be able to pop in today. I know you guys aren't used to me doing live, so everybody's probably like, wait, what? What's going on? I know this is not something I normally do, but I need to do it more. I'm not uncomfortable with it at all. I think part of it is a little bit difficult because, well, the technology part, but also, and I don't have a moderator. I guess I can assign a moderator if I go into a live and need some help. If somebody comes in and starts being a joker that shouldn't be here, get some help that way. But I'm also gonna put glue right down here in the center. The reason being is because I'm going to use my scoring tool to help me get that paper down in there and hoping that it sticks a bit. So that will help. Ah, you do have to go to work. That's right. That's why I was wondering if you were gonna come because I think you told me that you had to work. Well, I'm glad you were able to at least stop by and say, hey. But call me later if you feel like it. Let you know how this all went, how it all went down. There we go. There we go. And then I'm going to go ahead and burnish this again. Find your corners, find your creases. If you start folding this up a little, it'll help guide your tool to that spot. Be careful not to poke a hole in it though. And you can slowly work this up. Okay, that's gonna slowly train that paper to fold there where you want it to. We're gonna make sure all this is burnished down really well, but you can see that fold really good now, and it's gonna open and close nicely. All right, so there we go. We've got that trained. Now let's train this side. Being that I'm right-handed, I am going to turn this upside down so I can train this one a little bit better. And see, this one's giving me a little bit more trouble. Just keep working that paper down. If it starts lifting up or bunching, you just work it down. But keep going over it and training that paper till it folds easily. There we go. All right, might take several passes, and that's okay. You have a great one too. Enjoy your shift. All right, so we've got that. It folds really nicely. We've got ourselves the start of a book, guys. Isn't that awesome? How easy was that? Well, it was. It was easy, I promise. And then what we're gonna do next is we're gonna cover this part, okay? So for that part, before we do that, actually, there is one thing we need to do, which I did not do yet. We need to score this part, okay? Our inside cover, that's gonna be red. We've got these cut to 9 3/4 by 10 3/4, okay? Why does that say that? Hold on. Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Let me double check something. I may have written something down wrong. Oh, I see what I did. That is incorrect. It's not 9 3/4 by 10 3/4. It's 8 by 10 1/2. The reason being is because I need to stick with May's measurements on this part, okay? Because it makes a difference. Now, let me recut this. So 8 by 10 1/2. So this is, what? 8 by 10 1/2. What did I cut? 9 3/4 by 10 3/4. 9 3/4 by 10 3/4. But I need 8 by 10 1/2. What did I say? Okay, 10 1/2. Let's do 10 1/2 here. I got this. I got this. I have to rethink it, guys. I had to redo my measurements because of the size that I cut my spine. It changed everything. So, except for this part is actually the same because I need to mark it and score it at the same places. It makes sense. It'll make sense in a minute. Okay, so this is my inside cover. Hang on. I'm just gonna write this note before I forget. Okay, so 8 by 10 1/2. 8 by 10 1/2. All right. What size did I cut that? 10 1/2. So we're gonna go to 8 on this one. And I'm cutting through 2 pieces of paper right now, so you only see me cut once, but that's 2 pieces of paper, so we need 2 of those. Okay. We're gonna just put this aside, out of the way. Yes, believe it or not. Okay. This is why I needed to cut it this way, because this is going to fit just to cover that and just to cover that. I do want this paper to show, and that's why I cut it a bit wider than necessary, just so that these would overlap, okay? The reason that this is important is because these are the original sizes, so our boxes will all fit onto this piece, and then this part will house our long box, okay? So it's important to have those correct. So what we're gonna do with these two pieces, these inside cover pieces, we do need to score them. We do need to score them. And I've got my scoring template here. On the 8-inch side, I'm gonna have to do this twice because I didn't do either one of them. On the 8-inch side, let's see if I can learn how to use this thing yet. We're gonna score at 1/2. Bloop, bloop, bloop. There's 1/2 right there. It's important to get this right. And then 2 1/2. 3. 5. 5.5, 7.5. Oops, let me fix that. And that's that. And then on this side, we're going to turn that. So on the long side, we're going to score at 1/2 inch, at 2.5, at 3, at 5, 5.5, well, that didn't work. Seven and a half. Oh, I see what I did. 8 and 10. I wrote it on the wrong side. Okay, so we're not going to fold these. Don't fold those. Those are just guidelines. We're going to do it one more time. I'm going to do this with you one more time, and that's good because repetition is a good thing. So we're going to go at 1/2, 2.5, 3, 5, 5.5, 7.5. That's okay. It's just a guideline. So if you mess up, it's not the end of the world. You're not going to see these guidelines at the end. Okay, then we're going to turn it 1/2 inch, and then 2.5, 3, 5, 5.5, 7.5, right? 5.5, 7.5, 8, and 10. All right, we're done with our scoreboard. We won't need that. We won't need, well, hey, I have 2 bone folders in here. Imagine that. Okay, get my box out. Let's go ahead and put these in here. Well, actually, let's do one thing first. Let's do this part first because this is a little bit more. Okay, so for the next part, once we've got this, like I said, these are just guidelines, okay? But we're gonna need 18 pieces. Now you might need less actually, but I cut 18 because that's how many lines we're gonna need. And those pieces need to be 12 by 1/2 inch, 12 inches by 1/2 inch. They don't need to be 12 inches, but I just cut the whole length of my paper, guys. I did. So 12 by 1/2 inch. This is what we're gonna do. Like I said, that just makes it easier. I could have measured this all out, but it would have been so confusing. So we're just gonna do 12 inches by 1/2 inch, and then we're just gonna trim the excess, okay? Is that a waste? No, because we're gonna find other ways to use those trims in another project. Not today. So there we go. So we are just placing our 1/2 inch papers in these 1/2 inch strips that we just made on our page. This is going to be a guide for our boxes, and they're going to fit perfectly in there. So just glue that right here into that little shallow section there. And if you are just joining us, welcome, 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 welcome. I'm so glad to see you. We are making an advent calendar. And it is going to be so beautiful. It's going to be a keepsake, right? Yeah. All right, there we go. And then one more on this one. We're just adding some glue. Look, my glue isn't stuck. This must be my lucky day. Must be my lucky day. I shouldn't have said anything about it because now it's probably going to be clogged the next time I try to pick it up. All right, so we're going to go that way. Let's do the same thing on this one, and then we'll go back the other direction. So we're just lining these papers. This is just our guideline so we know where to put our boxes, because you want your boxes all to be straight, right? You want them to be straight and beautiful and right side up. Oh my goodness. I can't believe I did that. Yes, I did. I glued my boxes upside down in my advent calendar on my other one. I'm so bummed about it, but that's okay. I'm gonna take pictures, and it's beautiful as it is, but then it's gonna be different. So I'm gonna take pictures of it as it is, and then I'll fix it and then take pictures as it will be. If you get glue or anything on this paper, on this red paper right now, it doesn't matter. It's not going to show. So don't worry if it's a little bit messy. This paper will not show in the finished project. You could use scrap paper. You could use pretty much any kind of paper down here right now, because this is just a guide and it's just to cover that background in the book. Okay. So if you have some paper that you just really don't like, this would be a good place to use it. If you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comments. I'm keeping an eye on that as well. So let's go ahead and trim these edges off, and then we're gonna flip the paper around and we're gonna do the same in the opposite direction. We're actually not gonna use these itty bitty pieces of paper in another project because these are way too small. I'm just gonna toss these in the bin behind me or underneath the table, get them out of the way. And then we're gonna take some more strips and we're gonna go this direction. Now you could potentially just use your favorite paper in the background and draw out these guidelines, but I really like this method because when you're putting your boxes down, you can actually feel them setting into the space, and you can kind of wiggle it just a little bit and make sure you've got it straight. For me, that's a win, and I don't mind going to the extra work for that because I have a hard time making things straight. I can't cut straight, can't draw straight. It's all difficult and crazy to me. So it really, really helps me. And these lines help me figure out how to line that up. So you may come up with a way that works better for you, but this works great for me. There we go. At this point, we are running out of strips, but we do have plenty. And if not, I can always cut a few more. Is this making sense so far? It's not too hard, right? Not too hard. So far, so good. And it does, and I'll put all the measurements to the different things in the description box so that you guys can go back and look at that if you want to go back and do that. It's making sense. Awesome. Awesome. Thank you, Alex. Yeah, I'll put the measurements to each portion in the description box for you guys, so you can just, if you want to go back and read it. Sometimes that helps me to understand tutorials a little bit better. I don't need to keep those. Actually, those are a little bit longer, but I really don't need to keep them. It would also be fun to implement some sewing onto this. Would be fun too. Like maybe sew down each of these green strips. These guide strips would be kind of cool. I've actually made one of these in a Christmas beach theme too. That was a lot of fun. It had little sand crabs on it. It was so cute, little sand castle. But they lived at the beach, and they wanted something a little bit beachy for the holiday. And that was just, I think that was my favorite one that I've ever made, was that beach one. There we go. Trying to go somewhat quickly too, so that you know, we don't take all day doing this. I mean, I've got all day, but I don't know if you guys do. I'd have other things to do. I actually do. I've got stuff to do. I really do. I've got stuff I'm avoiding doing. Maybe that's why I'm crafting. Maybe I'll go to the aquarium. Just kidding. Not today. That's not going to happen today. As much as I'd like it to, it's not happening today. We'll just trim these back. I just can't believe I'm home on a Saturday morning, able to craft. I feel like I've been working a lot on Saturdays. All right, so that's those. Now that we've got that done, that is probably, besides the boxes, that was probably the most complicated part. So next, we're gonna take our book, open it back up. And we are going to, since I'm out of tape, we're gonna glue these down. Oh, hang on a minute. I've got a little bit of white edge there that I don't like. Just trim that back just a little, because that white edge tells me that the other side is not straight. Maybe I'm being too picky. Okay, so we're gonna take this one and glue this down. You can use tape here, you can use glue, you can use glue stick. I don't trust glue stick, so it's not gonna be my recommendation, especially if you want it to last for a few years. I'm not sure I would trust that. Now, it doesn't matter which side's up or down because we measured that all the same way. We're gonna try to line this up though with our spine cover. Ooh, and I went a little bit, oh, actually my spine cover's a little bit longer. That's fine, that's perfect. That's okay. I don't think anybody's gonna pick at that. And just smooth that down. Make sure it's nice and stuck. Okay, that's gonna be really important. We've got that part covered, glued, perfect. Now this side. This side. Dun-dun-dun. Okay, this one goes on this side. Same thing. We're gonna center it on the page. You want just a little edge here. Same on top and bottom. With these measurements, our spine cover is gonna be a little bit taller. That's okay. And make sure it's nice and stuck. Okay, now the important part is, this is why these were important, because these boxes are gonna fit. And if you wiggle it, it'll show you where it's supposed to fit. So you're just gonna glue your boxes into those squares all over, okay? That's the next part. Now, because I didn't have time to go back and do another 24 boxes, and I didn't think you'd wanna sit through that, I'm gonna switch books because I have this one already started. You can see I did the same things. You can see I've got some glue that got out of hand there. We are going to go ahead and glue these on to this one, okay? So I did not cut a bunch more boxes, so we're abandoning the other one for now, and we're gonna do this one. We're just gonna start gluing these into the center of those squares. Just wiggle just a little, just to make sure it's nice and stuck on there. My boxes are completed. We're just gonna glue. This is the fun part. Oh, enjoyed pizza. Thanks for stopping in, Alex. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day and feel better soon. I'm glad you were able to stop by. All right, so we'll just tuck those on there. This is gonna be an easy part of the project. There's lots of easy parts. It's not hard. It's just understanding how it all fits together. And I mean, the measurements is really the hard part, figuring out the measurements for it, but we've got that all done for us. I'll open that back up, stick that down again, because that did not want to stick. Did that one do it too? No, that one's stuck down. All right. Hi, Brian, good to see you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm glad you had a chance to make it. We are making our advent calendar today. For those of you who are stopping in, let me show you quickly once again what we're making. I hope that you'll be able to get a chance to check it out. This is our advent calendar that we made with little boxes inside for the holidays. Did mine upside down by accident on the inside, guys, so I have to flip it over. We're not going to do the other one upside down. We've got all the boxes in here. We've got one for the 25th. Really, really cool way of keeping track of the holidays and doing something special for our loved ones or ourselves. Heck, we could always fill it up with stuff for ourselves. Maybe we gift ourselves something crafty every day, or we put some notes inside, or maybe we put our what's the word? Our prompts in there. That would be fun. Put a prompt in there for each day, and then you craft to the prompt. Maybe you don't know which prompts you put in which box. That would be kind of fun. Ooh, I might do that. I might do that for December. I think that would be a lot of fun. Put some prompts in a box. I like that idea. I should write that down so I don't forget it. You know I'm going to forget it. I have ADHD. I'm going to forget. There we go. Put plenty of glue. Make sure it just sticks in there really good. Remember to jiggle so that it kind of fits into that little well where the square, you know, the space that it's supposed to go on. And I promise if you do that, it's going to be pretty close to perfectly straight. Maybe not swear by it, but just kind of wiggle it a little bit and I promise it'll go pretty good. As long as your strips are straight. All right, so those are set down. Let's do this other side real quick. That didn't take too long. There we go, so we'll just go right there. Yep, so what is everybody else doing today? You guys have fun plans today? Is everybody off work? We have an art show here locally today that I was thinking about, but I don't know if I'm gonna be able to make it. I thought it'd be kind of fun to go check it out. We'll see though, we'll see. After these are done, then we get to do, we're gonna make the box for the 25th. We'll do that together. Oh, I forgot to show you how to make these boxes. Oh gosh. Okay, well, I'm gonna go backwards a little bit. I'll show you how to make both boxes, okay? I didn't show you that yet, but I did that in the part 1. And then as soon as I get these glued down, I'll show you how to make both the small boxes and the large box for the 25th. I have pieces here cut for that. I just forgot to do it. I was gonna do that before I started gluing these in. But I got excited that we were getting to this part and forgot to show you. There we go. You guys are quiet. To do more lives so that you guys are like, wait, what? She's live? Wait, what? No. There we go. And I'll put this one there. All right, so we've got all those boxes down and that's gonna fold up really nicely. And when it's closed, it's gonna hold those boxes shut. So we've got that part done. Let me show you quick how to make those boxes, okay? So the first one is gonna be, the one we just did is the smallest box. That's gonna be, you're gonna need 24 of these. You're going to need a piece of paper in the color that you want your box. You're gonna need 24 of them. 4.5 by 7 3/4. So this is my cheat sheet for that. 4.5 by 7 3/4. And we're going to score. I don't know where I put that other bone folder. Good thing I have two. We're going to score at 1 1/4 on this side and 3 1/4. All right, and then we're going to turn our paper to the long side and we're going to score at 1 1/4, 3 1/4. I can't see it. Is that it? Yep, that's it. And then 4.5 and 6.5. Okay, and then what we're going to do, if we can find the scissors that I thought I wasn't going to need, right here, we're going to take this and we're going to cut. Now, this is going to be the box, the bottom of the box. This is going to be the top of the box. These are the 2-inch parts. So we're going to cut just on the right hand, just on the outside of that score line, because we're going to cut that score line out. And then we're going to slightly miter into the tab part, which is this first part. Okay, we're going to do that. This one is the tab here, so we're going to slightly miter this part up to the score line and cut straight just to the side of that score line for this one. We're going to do still the same part of that tab, miter and straight. And then this is the tab on this side, so we're going to miter here and then straight on this one. We're going to flip this over and do the same here. So this is the tab. So we're going to miter and then straight, just cutting that part out. And then this is the tab here. So we're going to miter and straight. And then miter and straight. And then this is the tab over here, so we're going to miter on this side and then cut straight here. Okay, once that's done, then we can fold all of these. And then we can fold these as well. These are not guidelines, these are fold lines. Okay. All right, now we're going to put this alongside, we're going to just flatten this back out. It's easier to work with. Grab this part right here. These two are going to be the first tab. So we're going to put glue on the outside of these. And fold this up so that it lines up. This is the front of our box. And then this part is going to be the back of the box, so we will go ahead and do it that way. And we'll do the same. We'll line it up. Line it up there. We've got the bottom of our box, okay? Now on this top part, this is the top flap, so we're going to glue this part. This part, glue it there, and glue it there. And then we're going to take our thumb notcher, our circle punch. In the lid, we're going to just put a little thumb notch. Now this thumb notch is important because once this is glued down, without that thumb notch, it's really difficult to open this box. So that really helps to open it. So that's how you make the small box. You're going to need 24 of those for this calendar. Okay, let's make the long box. This is for the 25th. This is a piece of paper that is 8 by 12. And we are going to score just like this on this side. We are going to score at 1 inch, 3.5 inches, 4.5 inches, and 7 inches. This one's only going to be 1 inch deep, okay? And we're gonna turn our paper, get rid of that. and we're going to score at 1 inch and 11 inches. All right, that was pretty simple, wasn't it? Okay, now what we need to do is do the same cutting. The same kind of cutting we did before, okay? And this is so crooked somehow. What happened there? Is it crooked or is it my eyeballs? Is it the pattern playing tricks on me? Hang on a second, guys. I want to fix that if it's crooked. Hold on, hold on, hold on. Should be at 1 inch, is it? I feel like it slid or something. No, that's right. Oh my goodness, it looks crooked because of the pattern, I guess. Okay, it's playing tricks on my eyes. That's fine. It can play tricks all at once as long as it's straight. All right, so this is our tab end. Okay, so we're gonna go to a miter and straight. Oh, it was a little bit crooked. That's okay though. But which one's accurate? I'm not certain. Well, we're just gonna go with this one. We're gonna have to tweak it a little bit as we fold it. Okay, we can fix these things. All right, and then miter, and then straight. And miter, and then straight. You know what I did, guys? I cut on the wrong side. I should have probably done it on this side. I think that's okay. I think I can still do it. So we'll just do this way. Because I need to free up that, tab too. So you want to do your tabs on this side with all the lines on it. It'll be easier for you to remember that way. I think this will still work. If not, we'll start this part over. All right, so there we go. There's that. Now we can fold on our lines. Remember, this is a tall box, so even though it feels like there should be a line in the middle, there's not. This is a tall box. Or long box, however you want to say it. Oh, hello, hello, hello. If you're stopping in, good to see you. I'm so glad you're here. If you have a chance, say hello in the chat. Let me know who's here. All right, so I could shout you out. All right, so here we go. Here's going to be the tabs on here. So we're going to go ahead and glue here. And just line those edges up. Oh, I meant to mention also, if for some reason, like I did here, this doesn't line up perfectly, just use your scissors. Once it doesn't wiggle anymore, dry enough it doesn't wiggle, just use your scissors and kind of just straighten it out. Nobody will ever know the difference. Can you tell? Nope. Only because you sew it. Okay. Perfect. And that's what we want. We just want pretty, beautiful, long-lasting awesomeness. There we go. There we go. Okay, and then this one, we're going to do the same thing here. We're going to glue those down. I was thinking I would have gotten some trim out so that we could glue that under this box, but I don't think I'm going to on this one. We're going to do this one a little different. I don't think I have much Christmas trim, honestly, but I could have found any. So this one won't have any, or maybe I'll put something on it later somehow. All right, or maybe a magnet or Velcro. Velcro would work. You could do all of those things. Or nothing, because you could make your box tight enough fitting that it wouldn't need it. Okay, so we're gonna take this, we're gonna also put a thumb notch in this one as well. We're gonna eyeball towards the middle, which is gonna be right around, if my eyeballs serve me correctly, around here. Perfect. There's our long box. And this is a perfect gift box for something else too. You could put a pokey tool in here. You could put a chunky charm in here. You could put any of your crafty things. You could put a note. You could put a handkerchief, I think would be beautiful, or a Christmas tree ornament. Something nice could go in that box. So here's what we're going to do with this box. With this box, we are going to put this right here in the middle of the spine. This is where it goes. This is where it lives. This is where it's going to stay. Okay. Now you just want to make sure that it's centered as best as you can between these folds. If it's on the fold, it's not going to work. So you should be able to fold it up just like this. And when you tip it up, you'll see the box right inside. Okay. And you're going to have room on there. So if you want to put a bow or something chunky or decorative or, you know, layers, you're going to have room to do that in there. And that's why I designed it that way. So let's go ahead and glue this guy down. Make sure you get lots of good stickage on this one, because if this one is heavier than the other ones, you may want to glue it a little better. I'm probably overkilling on the glue, but that's okay. That's all right. And then we're just gonna center this the best that we can. Center that, and then make sure that it's nice and attached right here. You can use tape if you want to. I would still add some glue. Just make sure that it's, you know, it's permanent. You don't want that coming up. Now again, if you wanted to put ribbon on it, you could have put that before we glued the box down. And that would help hold it shut like I did in this one. You'll see I did glue the ribbon down underneath the box. That way when you open it, the ribbon is still attached. Okay, this one's gonna be a different measurement. If it looks different, it's because it is. These measurements are different on this box. This is one of the smaller boxes. I was still working with my measurements on this one. So you can add that bow in there, and there's still, if you'll see, there's still plenty of room for that bow in there and then some. So you can do it that way if you want to, but you can also just leave it if you wanted to as well. You could put a magnet here to help hold it shut, however you want to do that. But now this one is attached too. So then all we're looking at now at this point is decorative. So I have got, I'm gonna go ahead, I'm not gonna do a lot of decorative today, but I do wanna show you how I did not the numbers, because I'm not doing numbers today. But for the decorative part of the boxes, I cut little squares. These are 1 7/8 by 1 7/8 squares to fit on the top of the 2 by 2 box. And I'm going to put these on here. Figured, you know, let's put these on here. I'm not going to do the numbers today. You can cut the numbers out however you want to, and you can rearrange them however you want to. This part is definitely maker's choice. You know, design it how you would like it and make it beautiful how you would like it. I'm probably going to be putting white numbers on this box, on these little boxes, to stand out against this black paper. And then for the 25th, I'll probably use a white number. Or possibly gold. I'm not sure. I'm not sure yet. But I'm not going to do the numbers with you guys today, because that would just take forever. And I think you can figure that part out. You can use die cuts. You can use markers. You can use stamps. You could use whatever you have that you think would make a beautiful calendar and make it your own. But I thought this would be fun to add these on here. I'm looking at that film strip over there too, and I keep thinking, oh, that would be so pretty with this, but I don't know how to incorporate it. I'm not quite sure. I think I'd like to make a grungy one too. These are all, the decorative papers that I'm using today are all from Rosie's Studio. I think I said that earlier in the video, but they're all from Rosie's Studio, so if you're interested, they're actually having a sale right now. I know they've got some buy one, get one frees, and they've got some 30% off stuff over there. So check out rosiestudio.com to check out their sale. They've got all their Christmas papers over there. They've got several different styles of Christmas papers. I couldn't decide which one was my favorite. I think Hearth and Home is my favorite. I think Oh Joyful Day, I think, is what the newest one is called. That one's beautiful too. It's got some pinks in there also, and some Santa Clauses. Really, really cute. The Hearth and Home is more of the woodsy feel to it. The woodland animals like the deer and that, and it's got like the, you know, fireplace, the hearth, and the home, and the little house, and yeah, a little bit more. It's the blacks, greens, and reds trend there. I really like that one. I think you guys will too. So that's what I'm using mostly, except for some of the things that were in my scraps, which would be this polka dot paper back here. This was in my scraps. This red was in my scraps, and then the solid black was in my scraps. Those didn't come from Rosie's. But those aren't the ones that show. Those are the ones that are just needed for the background, right? All right. So this is fun. I hope you guys are enjoying this. I hope you have enjoyed it. I want to appreciate everybody that's come along and spent some time with me today. I know it's a busy Saturday. I know there's a lot going on Saturdays. So I really do appreciate your time that you came and crafted with me. And those of you who are watching in replay, I appreciate you just as well. And I hope that you enjoy my calendar. And I hope that you guys will be inspired to make one or make something similar. And if you do, please be sure to tag me. I'd love to see it. I really, really would. Everybody's creations are so different. It's just wonderful to see all the different things that people will do with the same idea, you know? Oops, did I cut enough? Yeah, I did. Thought that was the last one. I was like, oh no. All right, I might find a way to get that little music's magic or film strip in there somehow. I just feel like it needs to be in here. Maybe it'll be part of the decorative element for here. I don't know, I'm not sure. I'm not gonna decorate it on camera today because that would take too long. I didn't bring those things out, and I think that's gonna be a little bit more inspirational, and I want you guys to be able to come up with your own decorations. Sometimes it takes me a little while to figure out exactly how I wanna do that, so we won't decorate today. We'll just put the whole thing together. And we are almost done, honestly. We're getting so close to the end. I'm just gonna cover up these boxes and I think we're gonna have it. So, yeah, I do recommend putting the ribbon on the calendar to hold it together. I think it helps a lot with the keeping stuff inside the boxes. I just didn't think to get it out today. I'm gonna probably come up with a different closure on this one. But I haven't figured that part out. I'll be sure to post a picture in the community chat or in my community tabs, as well as on Instagram, of the completed version, how it turns out completely. Actually, both of them, since I actually worked on 2 today, didn't I? So I'll show you guys both how they turned out. Almost there. Well, this was fun. I'm gonna have to start doing more lives, maybe not on Saturday mornings because I know that's so hard, but maybe I can find another time that's a little bit better, that works for more people. It's hard to do when I don't have time to think about how I'm gonna do it. But I guess I just need to start planning ahead, don't I? Because this worked out great. I have all my pieces here and it was just so easy to just put together. I have my notes. I'm gonna have to write these notes in a different way. I need a book. I need something to put them in, all my ideas. Because then I don't have to go back and think, how did I do that? I'm not good about that though. Really bad about it. Happy World Card Making Day. All right, you guys, and on that note, this one is done as far as that goes. I will be decorating it. I will be adding some different things. This one is completed. We've got this one started, so I'll make sure I post the completed version of this one. So this is the one we started with. We ended with this one. And then this one was not my first one, but the one I wanted to show you first so that you knew what we were making today, except it's upside down. So I'm gonna turn it back up. This one. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you'll be inspired to go back, check it out, make your own. Again, don't forget to tag me in that. I would love to see your creations. I hope you all have a fantastic, fantastic day. Those of you who are creating, I wish you all the best in your creativity, and all of you, thank you so much for being here and for all that you do to inspire me. Thank you so much. I hope you guys have a fantastic day. We'll see you in the next one.